So, you ever wonder how an AI can just dominate a game like chess or Go? I mean, it's not like it can predict every single move an unpredictable human is going to make. That's basically impossible. The secret is actually this really clever trick that kind of sidesteps the need to predict the future at all. Let's break down how it works.
All right, so for any AI that's trying to play a game, the biggest headache is always the same thing: the other player. You just can't know for sure what they're going to do next.
And this right here creates a huge challenge for a field called reinforcement learning. I mean, how can an AI possibly figure out the best move when its opponent is a total wild card? It's kind of like trying to solve a maze where the walls are constantly shifting around you. Now, you'll hear this kind of technical-sounding phrase, full dynamics, but don't let it scare you. It's actually super simple. It just means you don't have all the information you need. In a game, it means you can't be 100% sure how your opponent is going to react to your move, which you can imagine makes it incredibly tough to know if your move is any good in the first place. So, what's the secret sauce? How does an AI get around this huge problem? Well, it actually borrows a mental shortcut that, believe it or not, human chess experts have been using for centuries. Okay, I want you to really picture this with me. Imagine you're in a high-stakes chess match. The clock's ticking down, and it is your turn to move. What's going through your head? You're not sitting there trying to map out every single possible reply your opponent could make, and then every counter-reply to that, and so on, for dozens of moves into the future. The number of possibilities is just astronomical. It would literally fry the circuits of even a supercomputer. Instead, you use a shortcut, a really smart one. You imagine making a single move, and then you just look at the resulting board. You ask yourself simple questions. Is this a stronger position for me? Do I have more control of the center? Are my important pieces safe for now? See, you're not predicting your opponent's reply. You're just judging the quality of the new board state that you just created. So that intuitive trick that chess players use? Well, in the world of AI, it has a formal name, and it is the absolute key to making this whole learning process work so efficiently. And here's that key term, afterstate. It's exactly what we were just talking about in the chess example. It is the position of the board right after you've moved your piece, but just before your opponent has even had a chance to react. It's that little snapshot in time of the potential you've just created. And this really highlights the critical difference here. The standard way would be to try and evaluate an action, which forces you to guess what your opponent will do. But the afterstate method, it completely flips the script. It evaluates the position your action creates. And the most beautiful part of this, you don't need a crystal ball. And this is why it's so much more efficient, because it focuses only on what the AI knows for certain. It knows the rules of the game, and it knows the direct result of its own move. It might not have a clue what you're going to do, but it knows that if it moves its pawn to e4, that pawn will be on e4. It leverages what's certain to get around what's not. Okay, so we've got the concept. But how does an AI actually use this idea to make a decision? Let's walk through the whole process, from start to finish. It's this really clean, logical loop. So the agent is looking at the current board. For step 1, it mentally plays out one possible move, let's say moving a knight. Step 2, it immediately sees the result. That's our afterstate. Then, step 3, it runs its evaluation function on that new board and gets a score. How good is this position? And finally, step 4, it just does this for every legal move it has, and it picks the one that leads to the afterstate with the absolute highest score. Simple, powerful, and incredibly efficient. So, after all of that, what's the one single most important thing to remember from this whole explainer? It all comes down to this really fundamental shift in perspective. You stop trying to predict the unpredictable. Instead, you focus on creating strong positions, and you trust that a better position gives you the best chance to win, no matter what happens next. And this leaves us with a pretty fascinating question. We focused on games, but this powerful idea, evaluating the certain outcome of your own action instead of predicting a complex response, where else could that be applied? Could it work in economics? Or maybe in strategic business planning? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.